let's connect with him and let's say hello to him to understand that what his prognosis of the market is and where markets are headed. Bhasin Saab, Nifty was supposed to cross 20,000. हो ही नहीं रहा है.
गुड मॉर्निंग निकुंज अगेन हो जाएगा, कोई चिंता नहीं है. इस अगले हफ्ते नहीं तो उसके अगले हफ्ते. अरे ब्रॉडर मार्केट देखो, एनबीसीसी न्यू हाई, बीएल कश्यप न्यू हाई, मर्सिडीज 10,000 crore sales, landmark cars rising its way. We are only caught in the bandwagon because of ETF selling and so on, which is a part and course that if there is going to be 5% yields, the whole world knows what is going on. But if I'm going to see Mercedes sales cross 10,000 crore, the wealth effect play out as far as construction, road building, etc., Ultratech's numbers, Lever's numbers, Bajaj Auto hitting 6% up on a result day, then I am missing something on the broader front. I can guarantee you, if not next week, by the first week of November, we are hitting 20,000 before Diwali, and that is a known. Secondly, large part of all the negative news is slowly getting priced in. FIs are close to exhaustion, and I think that the retail flows, which has been the backbone of this market, that is what the market is. We are watching retail flows. FIs will come and go because they are fair weather friends and global circumstances. But please look at the broader market, Nikunj.
Can the broader market sustain independently? A question which we've debated and deliberated. Now, the naysayers were always of the view that broader market is unlikely to sustain because positioning was getting extreme, valuations were getting frothy, and the participation was growing in some of the mid and the small cap stocks which do not deserve to go higher. But so far the naysayers have got it wrong. Do you think small and mid cap stocks which have rallied, they would continue to rally on?
Yeah, that's a glass half full, half empty, Nikunj. I still think there is enough value because for years they have underperformed. And secondly, the access to capital for small and mid caps has become even more, the best ever. Thirdly, the environment is around you. You can see what's going on around you. You don't have EBITDA per ton of cement going up the way it is. You cannot have construction and real estate activity go in sync. DLF is hitting new highs. There is a, whether it's fair or not, 100 crore rupee house sold in Camellias for 10,000 square feet. Maybe that was one off. But the language, the body language, the essence of the spending is huge. Now, I also agree. Even I have always tried to book profit in mid caps, but it's been a no-show. So your actual mutual fund performances are lagging because there was underperformance or under ownership of PSUs. I mean, REC, PFC are hitting new highs. And we are missing the bigger picture that the bond market inclusion, some of the other, positives are all going to see huge inflows into sovereign debt and so on. I'll not imply much, but I think, Nikunj, that this sell-off in Reliance, HDFC Bank also may be coming to a head. So you'll see these levels be a very good ground for holding. Secondly, IT mid-cap has actually outperformed large cap. And I still think LTIM, Persistent, Coforge have miles to go. So as a basket of stock, I think mid-caps are still going to rule the roost. And you are closer to year-end where again the Diwali effect, the left-out feeling is going to be humongous. So this is the next 2-3 years belong to mid-caps. And we'll take it from here till the election and budget that they can still outperform.
You give a new mid-cap, large-cap and a small-cap idea. I'm using the word new. Every Friday, you give a new small cap, mid cap and a large cap new idea. And I have the list, so I know the whole ideas. This time it has to be new one, Bhasin sir.
So let me see. Yesterday, IGL fell 5%. And on talk that EV's policy from Delhi government. Firstly, Delhi government itself doesn't know which side of the state they are because they are also headed for state elections. Secondly, EV policy is a no-brainer by 2030. But believe me, 8% of IGL's revenues come from DTC, 10% from Ola Uber. It had a EBITDA of 1,900 crore last year and a net profit of 1,650 crore. 10 or 12% volumes will get affected. That also in 2030. At a stock which trades at just 18-20 times 1 year forward, I think IGL is a must-have. From here till Diwali, 575-600 can easily come. Results are on the first. As a bias, I think that can be very strong. So IGL would be my mid-cap pay. And in large caps, for today and for the next week and for the next month, it is going to be Reliance. Look, Reliance results are slated for next week. Nikunj, you are seeing the way retail, ARPUs, and the geo business is performing. I think that oil to chemical, their biggest conduit is going to be doubling of Russian crude, which is at a discount, and the refining margins, which have bottomed out on GRM. I think Reliance numbers and the guidance is going to be very positive. Plus, the added cake could be that in this result, you could also hear something of the demerger, not on the geo-financial, but on the other business, that is the retail part, which could be a real unlocking of this stock. So from here till year end, 20% upside in Reliance.
Sanjiv, what the outlook is when it comes to some of these consumer durable companies. We were talking about Havells, Voltas, and how they really haven't managed to cash in on the massive consumption boom, the festive sales, the overall pickup. Why is that, you think?
Yeah, some of parts I thought Havells numbers were very reasonable. Now remember, Voltas also has some exposure towards the Middle East, and there could be an accounting over there. But Avan, give them more time. We know that the coming few quarters will see a large part of the consumer electricals because of house building, new house flow, and so on. And these two brands have taken larger market share than anybody in consumer electricals. So I would still put my money on Havells. It's an expensive stock, and in the consumer electricals, it is now trading like an FMCG. But the type of basket, the type of model that they are moving from LED to solar panel to your Crabtree, all the brands are doing extremely well. I have not had a conference on this conference calls on the numbers, but yesterday we had a buy around that 1330, 1340. We think that this could again rescale those new highs closer to 1550 by the end of the year. Voltas is something which the Tatas are actually very, very bullish on, and they are putting their money into more on their marketing and their consumer facing arm. So that and TTML, just as you spoke about Tata Community, those are two Tata consumer-facing arms, which I think in the near term can do relatively very, very well because of the management's focus on them.
Sanjiv, for joining in. Good to have you on board as always, picking your brains and getting all those stock ideas.